All right, let's talk about something called information hygiene. It's this simple, but honestly really powerful idea about how we can manage the absolute flood of information we get every day. The trick? Treating it like a diet. This could seriously improve how you feel. Let's get right into it.
So, does this sound familiar to you? You pick up your phone, maybe just for a quick scroll, right? And then poof, an hour's gone by, and you just feel drained. Kind of mentally foggy, maybe even a little anxious or cranky. Trust me, you are not alone. This digital exhaustion thing, it's a huge and honestly a growing problem for a lot of us. Okay, so the source material for this makes a pretty bold claim right out of the gate. It says the single biggest drain on our personal energy, our power, isn't our fears or bad habits, not even our addictions. No, it's the junk information that we're consuming all day, every day. That's a huge statement, so let's really unpack what that means.
So, how exactly does scrolling through your feed sap your energy like a leaky battery? Well, the way it works is actually a lot more active and way more subtle than you might think.
Think about it. We're constantly surrounded. You've got endless articles online, 24/7 news cycles, those social media feeds that never ever end. Right there on our phones, we're basically navigating a nonstop torrent of information. And the problem is, a huge chunk of it is what the source calls junk. It can be totally false, completely useless, or, and this is the important one, downright manipulative.
And here's the key. This isn't just passive noise we're scrolling through. A lot of this junk information is specifically engineered to get a rise out of you. It's actually designed to trigger really powerful negative emotions. Think fear, anger, outrage. Because, well, those are the emotions that keep you hooked, keep you engaged, keep you scrolling.
This leads to a really fascinating concept from our source called an egregore. The idea is that when millions of us are all focused on the same negative story, feeding it with our emotional energy, we collectively create this destructive collective energy field. It becomes a feedback loop that just amplifies all that negativity and can really damage the well-being of every single person caught up in it. So if we're basically being poisoned by all this junk information, what's the antidote? The source proposes a really simple but powerful way to think about it: a diet for your mind.
Here is the core idea in a nutshell. It's so simple. Just like you pay attention to the food you put in your body, you need to start paying attention to the information you're putting in your mind. It's literally a nutritional diet, but for your thoughts and your energy.
And the comparison here is just so direct and intuitive. We all know instinctively that if you eat spoiled food, you're going to get physically sick, right? Well, the argument here is that consuming junk information does the exact same thing to our mental and our energetic state. It poisons our well-being, and it leaves us feeling drained and just unwell. Okay, so we've got the problem and we've got the framework. Now for the most important part. What do we actually do about it? The answer is all about building a strong mental filter. And here are 4 really practical steps to do that. First, just stop consuming information mindlessly. Be intentional about it. Second, when something comes across your screen, quickly ask yourself, is this true? And maybe more importantly, is this even relevant to my life? Third, you have to actively filter out what the source calls energy vampire material. And finally, once you've filtered it out, don't keep chewing on it. Don't discuss it. Just let it go. Let's just focus on that third step for a second, because it's absolutely critical. You need to become an expert at spotting content that is deliberately designed to make you afraid or angry. This is the stuff that's created specifically to siphon away your energy. When you see it, the best thing you can possibly do is just disengage immediately.
And this connects right back to that second step. A huge part of this mental filter is the relevance test. Look, there is an infinite amount of information out there. If a piece of news or some story has zero direct impact on your life or on the things you actually care about, you have permission to ignore it. Seriously, it is not your job to process everything in the world.
This brings us to the final and really crucial distinction. It's all about understanding the 2 different ways we can spend our precious mental and emotional energy, and realizing how one path leads to feeling powerless while the other can lead to real change. So here's the crucial point. On one side, you have what's called conscious energetic work. This is when you intentionally direct your focus, your emotional energy, towards creating something or changing something. It's powerful. On the other side, you have unconscious emotioning. And that's just mindlessly reacting to whatever junk information gets thrown at you. That reactive energy, it's powerless. And it only serves to feed those negative systems we were talking about earlier.
And that's really what it all comes down to. Building and maintaining that strong information filter, it isn't just some nice little productivity hack. According to our source, it's one of the most important tools you have for your overall health. We're talking mental, emotional, and energetic health. It's a fundamental act of self-care in this crazy modern world.
So as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this question. Just think about your own information diet right now. What's one type of content, one source, maybe one specific topic that you know deep down is just junk food for your mind? What's the very first thing you're going to filter out starting today?